Half a day, Tiro, and good morning to all of you guys from Project PROA. My name is Timothy, and this is my wonderful partner, Kuino, and we will be presiding over this presentation for today. If you guys may recall, we showcased to you in person some skills and necessities as part of our home economics series. Well, in this video, we will showcase to you guys 4 more skills that you can take away. So what will we be discussing with you guys today? So for our agenda, we actually have 5 parts. 1. How to clean your house. 2. How to clean a toilet the proper way. 3. How to clean a stove. 4. How to organize a closet. And 5, for good measure, we have a before and after showcase of what we will discuss for today. So the first part that we have is how to clean any room in the house. And again, any room in the house, these steps are applicable. So before beginning any cleaning, you will proceed to step 1, gathering all necessary items. And by the necessities, we refer to these 4. Aerosols, which may be Lysol or any options that you have. Your equipment, gloves, masks, etc. Liquid sanitizers, which could be bleach, furniture polish, or whatever chemical necessary. And tools, it could be electronic or it could be not so, like your vacuum or whatever again you may have. Please do not begin the process, do not begin cleaning without all of these necessities. Again, your safety matters first. Then you would proceed to step 2, beginning disposal. So gather any trash or other unnecessary items that you do not need. Again, trash bags are essential for this part because you're going to get down and dirty. Ensure that you sort your trash before final disposal. Again, because when you begin disposal, the likelihood of recovering these items may be minimal. So you want to be sure that you sorted through everything that you're going to dispose of before you actually begin disposing it. So for the third step that we have here, again, cleaning top to bottom. You will begin cleaning from the top surfaces to the lower ones because again, more of the mess accumulates toward the bottom. It is recommended to do so. Again, if you had made this mistake before, don't worry. It's understandable, but this is just a logical process of how you would want to begin cleaning. And as you do so, it is recommended to dust first before wiping, and we will elaborate more on that in the next steps. So to elaborate in our 4th step, dust first. So as stated, begin dusting higher surfaces before proceeding to the lower ones. Now for this step, you want to use any sort of tool or device to dust, whether it be your feather dusters, vacuums, or whatever tool or accessory that you have. It doesn't matter what type, but this is just a short reminder. Only use a broom, one of the more common dusting appliances, only for the lower surfaces. Now it is common for people to actually use a broom, whether to dust higher surfaces, but this is actually counterintuitive because the dust tends to go around and flurry. So recommended only for the lower surfaces will you ever have to use the broom. So we proceed to step 5, wipe second. So you would wipe higher surfaces first, then proceed to the lower areas. Again, use an absorbent cloth or other material for wiping, whether it be your microfiber cloths or made out of cotton. Again, whatever is absorbent is completely fine. It is optional, however, that chemicals may be used for this process if you want to apply a finishing touch, whether it be Pledge, Windex. Again, that's entirely up to you guys. After all these processes, you would proceed to the last step. The 6th step, air the room last. So use any ventilating tool, whether it be your AC or your fan, whatever you have for this process to remove any remaining odor. Because again, you did use chemicals, you did use other aerosols and other cleaning supplies, so you want to remove all of these odors. And position these devices near entryways if possible, because you want the smell, you want the aroma, the odor to dissipate. This is primarily why you need to do this, because again, it is for your safety. For the next category that we have here is how to clean a toilet the proper way. And what do I mean by the proper way? I'll elaborate more on that in the coming steps. So prior to beginning the process, you will proceed to step 1, gathering supplies and removing items. So gather the necessary items that you would need, which consists of 2 categories: chemicals, which could be bleach, muriatic acid, etc., and the equipment, sponges, scrubs, etc. And before actually doing all of this, remove any items that are not intended to be wet, whether it be your garments, your mats, any extraneous items in your bathroom that you don't want saturated. And just a warning, be sure to put on a mask before cleaning, because again, your safety matters first. Before actually proceeding to applying anything, you will proceed to step 2, rinse the toilet. So we'd rinse the toilet with water to remove any outlying residue. So any residue that happened to be on the toilet surfaces, you want to do so. Rinse the outside of the bowl before proceeding to the inside of the bowl. Because again, the inner bowl is a lot more filthier, and that is the crucial part that you would proceed to first. So we proceed to step 3, one of the more thorough processes, cleaning the inner bowl. So what you would do is apply any chemicals to the inner bowl to remove tougher residue, to break it down, whether it be muriatic acid, Clorox, or whatever you have. Just a helpful warning, muriatic acid can pose certain health hazards. Again, it is an acid. So please refrain from physically touching the chemical because it is an acid. And use with caution. That's why we ensure that you have a mask on before experimenting with any of these chemicals, because any inhalation of it may be dangerous. And then you would proceed to allow time for the chemical to take effect before proceeding to scrubbing the toilet. And again, if you are using acid, use an extended scrub for this process. Afterwards, then you would flush the residue down the toilet. You want to get rid of it as much as possible. So after that more elaborate process, you would proceed to step 4, cleaning the outer bowl. Using your scrub, proceed to scrubbing the exterior of the bowl. It is optional to use chemicals if necessary, but it's unlikely because of the residue outside of the bowl. Usually it tends to be lighter, usually it tends to be weaker, and more susceptible to scrubbing. So in this image here, you would see how the bowl looked like before the initial process. And after the proceedings, this is how it would look like after the initial process, after your cumbersome, tiresome, and studious efforts. So for our third topic that we have today, we have part 3, how to clean a stove. Now this may seem straightforward, but again, every process has their own steps. So prior to beginning any process, you will proceed to step 1, gathering your supplies. So before actually touching the stove, ensure that you have the necessary supplies to clean it. And those supplies fall under 2 categories. One is equipment. A sponge with an abrasive side is very recommended. If not, there are other alternatives that you can use. And the second, most importantly, is soap, which could be dishwashing soap or anything that you have available for scrubbing. So as you're beginning the process, you would proceed to step 2, disassembling. So before cleaning the stove, remove any extraneous parts from it, which could be gas canisters, any external parts that it might have connected, because again, you want to ensure that the entire stove is cleaned thoroughly. So now after the disassemblage, you will proceed to step 3, scrubbing the stove. So using your sponge, apply a lather of soap and scrub using the abrasive side. So that green side that you have on your sponge, use that to remove the tougher residue. Afterwards, use the yellow side of the sponge to absorb the suds. So this is what you will use to remove any of the nit and grit still remaining on these parts. And then you would continue to scrub as you see fit. Again, it's entirely up to you how much you want to scrub, as long as you do it thoroughly and cautiously. So the finality of this process, you will proceed to step 4, wiping and reassembling the stove. So after scrubbing the stove, wipe the stove with the sponge to remove any traces of water. This is to ensure that rust doesn't develop and none of the more critical parts of the stove are saturated. For surety, you may want to wipe the stove with a dry cloth for reassurance, and then afterwards reassemble the stove as you can recall when you disassembled it. So after the process, we have a before image of what a stove looked like prior to the cleaning, and then here is an image of how it looks after our work. So for our last showcase in this presentation, we have part 4, how to organize a closet. So in comparison to our other processes that we've showcased for you today, this actually involves a different first step. So step 1, separate and color code. So remove any items that are present in your closet, and then you would sort each of your items by type and by article of clothing. So this is more of a sorting process. So as part of this sorting process, you would proceed to step 2, folding your towels first. So to fold a towel, take the towel horizontally and fold the two ends together. Then you would proceed to folding once more horizontally and bring those two ends together. And for the final fold, fold the towel in half vertically. So the next step in the sorting process is folding your shirts next, as showcased in step 3. Hold your shirt by the sleeves and fold it in half horizontally. Take one of the sleeves and then you would fold it inwards, and then do the same step for the other sleeve as shown in these pictures. Then take the collar side of the shirt, which is basically the top half, and fold it down vertically in half. Coupled with all these items in your closet, you may have some short pants that you may need to fold. And that is our next step in the sorting process. So for step 4, folding your short pants, hold your pants by the waistband with the front side, or the side that you are wearing it, facing outwards. Take the two ends of that waistband and fold it in half towards you horizontally. Then hold the waistband once more of that fold and fold it down in half vertically. The next step in the sorting process is quite similar. So step 5, folding your long pants. So hold your pants once more by the waistband. Again, front side facing out. Take the two ends that you're holding and fold it in half towards you. So fold it horizontally. Then you would fold the pants in half vertically. And this is optional for some people. You can insert it into a hanger, or you can leave it folded as is. So for your final step, you would proceed to step 6, inserting everything back into the closet. So sort each of your items back into the closet by type and by article of clothing. So you would have shirts on one side, pants on the other, and you get the gist. And it is also recommended to separate them by colors. So again, it would be easier to know what you're finding. For hanged items, you may want to separate the hangers by an inch space in between. So this is to ensure that you are able to get it quickly and to ensure that nothing else is ruffled as you come out of the closet. So after all of our hard work and all of that organization, here we have an image of what it looks like before the process, and then here is what happens after we beautified that closet. So for those of you who want to achieve the betterment of your home, here are some other resources that we have provided to you. 2 main links, one from Reader's Digest, which is found in this link below, and then you have Food 52, which is a collection of all of these skills and activities that you can do to improve your home, and you may find it at this link we can share to you guys below. So we have come to the conclusion of our presentation. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more, you can subscribe to our Northern Marianas College YouTube channel for more of our videos from Project PROA, or you can go ahead and search through that channel and see what other things we have come to create for you during this difficult time. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you stay safe and stay strong, Marianas.